Hey, welcome back to Jamieson's Repair Shop. Sunday, March 19th, a little bit different video today. I bought myself a birthday present. Where is it? Right there, that blue box. So in the blue box, it's a hydraulic hole cutter for sheet metal. And it's not really my birthday. My birthday is not until mid-May. But I use that term just to slide it by my wife so she doesn't get so aggravated with me when I spend money. However, if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. Anyway, let's get back to the tool. I bought it to punch holes in that, which is the floor pan I built last week for the Thunderbird, which is back there. So that's the passenger side floor pan that goes under the seat pedestal. So I haven't used this tool yet. I did open it, take a look, but I haven't used it for anything. So I'm gonna go set us up on the tripod and then we'll get it cracked open. And I think I'm gonna have to drill the holes a little bit larger in the seat pedestal standoff areas. Let's crack her open and see what's here. Hopefully this is stable enough to do it on. Well, there it is. Get it so we can see it, or hopefully you're in camera, yeah. Let's get this moved a little bit better, a little closer maybe. You can see inside this sucker. Now this didn't cost a crazy amount of money. I think it was $120 or something like that on Amazon. And like I said, I haven't used it yet. The only concern I have is that they sent a rebuild kit. So it makes you wonder why there has to have a rebuild kit, but it's in there. So we got some spare O-rings for the ram. So here's the head. You can see it there, the hydraulic head. And that is meant to pull these rods through. If I can get one out. Yeah, the hole's definitely going to have to be drilled out for that rig, for those floor pan rather. So near as I can tell, it drills in, it threads into there, and then here's the hydraulic pump. Get that off there. I don't want to upset everything onto the floor. So that's just a basic hydraulic pump, hand pump, and then a whole bunch of dies with it. So like I said, there's dies here. I think the smallest die is a 1/2 inch. Actually, that may even be too big. I'm going to try it. Just hold on. Well, that die is too big for the holes in the floor pan, but that doesn't stop us from testing this baby out. So I'll just set the floor pan aside, and I'll just end up drilling those. I was hoping I'd be able to do it on the floor pan, but that's okay. Let me get set up. I'll grab a piece of steel and we'll try it. I actually had to dig out the instructions to see what this is all about. That's pretty bad for a man to pull out a set of instructions. Anyway, what I was having trouble with off camera, when I put the draw stud in. This is called the draw stud. And this one's 7/16 to 3/4. And it comes with a 3/4 to 3/4 draw stud. And then for the small one, for the 7/16, you need a spacer to go in like this. And then the die, one side of the die, the female side, goes on. But what I was having trouble with, I don't know if you can see that or not, it was really tight on the shaft. But it goes on, but it's tight. And then this one gets threaded on over top to where you need it. And then we can, you thread it down to the metal. Hopefully you can see that. I'll put it sideways. Get the hose out of there. And then you pump it. And it pulls that male side into the female part of the die. And you shouldn't have to go all the way through, just enough to cut the metal, and that should be it. And then it self-returns. There it goes. And that's it. So I'm going to get a 7/16 hole drilled in a piece of steel, and we'll try the smaller dies out. And then we'll throw on the 3/4 stud, draw stud, and try some of the bigger ones. I just want to go a little bit over something with this. Hopefully you can see that. That says it's a 1/2 inch. And when I bought this, this is what I was hoping for, because I needed a 1/2 inch for that hole. It's marked 1/2 inch, but it's almost a full inch. It's just like 7/8. I can see, I'm looking through the camera here. It's like 7/8 almost. So if you need a 1/2 inch like I did, this isn't really that accurate. But anyway, let's see what kind of hole it puts in it. I've drilled a 7/16 hole over here. Let's take you over in this piece of steel, and I put the hydraulic pack up on the bench and clamped it down. So I got myself a 7/16 in there, and I'm going to put the tool on, and we'll see if we can cut this. And then I'll measure the hole after, but I don't see how that's going to make a 1/2 inch hole when it's bigger than 1/2 inch, but let's just see. Anything can surprise you. All right, can you see that? Let's see. Let's bring her down a little bit so we can see all the action. All right, let's watch this up close. And I actually have some other thoughts on this tool. You know how I was doing the pressing in the drain holes in the quarter panels? Well, when I was looking at these tools, they have one that comes, you can't see it right here now, but they have one that the cylinder's attached to the pump. And I almost bought that, and I said, no, if I have this head here separate, I'll be able to move it around the car and do spots on the vehicle. So that's why I went with the separate head, because they do have them with an attached head or detached. And they're about the same price, so. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see if we need to use that new O-ring kit. So far, nothing's happening. Maybe I should do something here. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. She's biting down now. I didn't have the valve closed all the way. So far, very little pressure. That'll likely pop right out of there, likely. There it goes. There it goes. So, that's a pretty nice looking hole, I have to say. I'm quite happy with the cut. It took very little pump pressure to do that. But, where's my measuring tape? We'll get it down here. That hole is more like almost a full inch. It's not hardly a 1/2 inch hole. Let's have a look. That is, like I said, 7/8 that hole. So that's their version of 1/2 inch. So if you're like me and thinking when you bought this that you're going to get a 1/2 inch hole size, it's marked 1/2 inch, but it's not working that way. But anyway, that's okay, because that's a perfect hole right there for a lot of the drain plugs in this car. All right, so I'm going to get set up. I'll drill another hole and we'll do the largest cut. Let's take a look at the blank that came out of it first, though. All right, let's get her back out. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll back you up a little bit. Then we'll take a look at the blank. Fellow might have use for that, like washers and stuff. This is supposed to cut up to 1/8 of an inch in thickness. So we'll see. I won't see today, but I'll check it out in time. Oh, maybe I think I'm going to have to pop that out with this. Let's see if we can pop that blank out. I don't know how far it'll come out. Right now it's backed in there tight. That's as far as that goes in. There's the blank. Well, I don't know if you'd be able to use them for a washer or not, because they're bent up pretty bad where they cut. Yeah. You could get a washer, I suppose, but you'd have to flatten it back out. Alright, so let me get a bigger hole in it, and we'll try the biggest die on it. So let's get this hole drilled out here. And so I'll put it in. So I want to do the largest die because I want to know how easily it cuts. So I'll get myself a spot like that. That's good there. Now I'll drill a hole, we'll get her in there. So let me get a hole drilled and we'll get that set up. Alright, so what I'm doing here, you'll notice that I still have the 1/2 inch die on, which is actually a little over 3/4, 7/8. But I figured, well, why drill a hole when I already have a hole punch to make a hole with? So let's cut the new hole for the 3/4 die, 3/4 draw stud with a small punch. And then take it all off, then we'll go at that with the big one. There we go. And you'll notice I'm quite a ways out on the metal here. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to know if it deforms the metal around the edge. So how close can I come to an edge that's unsupported? So let's just get rid of all this for now. Holy moly, man. Back off a little bit there, dude. You'll be looking for a new engine. All right. Put that off. Put the 3/4 draw stud in. And I'm going to bring it up from the bottom this time and see if you guys can show it better, if I can. Oh, hold on. You need to put it all together first. All right, another little discrepancy in this tool. In order to get this large die on, and I suspect now that I cleaned it up, the rest will go on all right. I had to clean the metal up with a emery cloth. It's just too tight on the shaft, but it's on there now and will probably never get any tighter. So a small little hiccup, but that is something. And now I just wanted to show what this is, Amzcnc. No idea how to pronounce that. SYK-8. That's the model number. Anybody's interested? So far, I'm happy with how it works. I'm not so happy with their measurements. But anyway, I own it now. And it'll work fine, I'm sure. We're getting on there. We'll spin that guy on. I turned this upside down this time to give you a good view of it. Let's get up tight. All right, ready to go. All right, you can see. Now, how much pressure does it take, and how much deforming does it do around there? That's my question. Not much pressure so far. And very little deforming so far. Seems to be cutting pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Huh, that's a nice little cut. And deforming, just a slight bit, but that's pretty close to an edge. It's a little bit right there, and a little bit on this side. Nothing on the thicker side, which was expected. But you can get pretty close, that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice looking hole too. So that part I'm happy with. Happy with how it works. It cuts nice. And it seems to function well. For 120 bucks or so, I think that's a pretty good tool. Except for the size. Size on the dies are wrong. But as far as cutting, it was great. Now, I mean, after I cut 20 holes, who knows what it's going to work like. But for now, I'm happy with it. There. I'll get that. Well, let's see if we can get that blank out. See what the blank looks like on the large one. I think it's very similar to the other one. There, this one can go. Oh, yeah, because I drilled the hole bigger. The hole was bigger because I used the. And actually, that's not a bad deal when the hole's bigger. But it is a little offside because I used that bigger hole. So if you want it to be centered properly, you have to use the right size of drill. Which is unfortunate that you can't make the hole with the small. The right side of the hole with the small die. But anyway, it is what it is on that. But you can flatten that out and still use that for something. Still a piece of metal with a hole in it. All right, good. All right, I should show you this part as well while I'm here. It's an 8-ton hydraulic knockout punch tool. Up to 2-inch conduit punch. Steel up to 1/8 of an inch. Stainless steel up to 1/16 of an inch. So mild steel up to 1/8. And then like I already showed the head, and that's the head. It's a pretty nice little rig. All right, there she is. I put her back in her box. Pretty happy with it. This not fitting down quite that well, but I'll just back this nut off and I'll flip that so it'll lay flat down and then tighten it back up. No problem there, easy peasy. Now I had a thought, and I was saying that they made a mistake on their measurements, and I said it more than once. However, thinking a little bit further outside the box, which a fellow should be doing all the time, it came to me that this is probably because it's designed for a electrical conduit. They're oversized because that's how it is with the electrical conduits. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you're someone has used knockout tools like this for electrical conduit, and the 1/2-inch ones are larger, which I believe they probably are, or all the dies are larger than the actual stated size, just let me know. I really appreciate it if you could, then we'll clarify that, because I'm thinking that's where I'm mixed up, that I was thinking it was going to be a straight 1/2-inch, but they're using conduit figures, which are different than the actual number, if that makes sense. Anyhow, that's her packed up. I'll get that back down the hole. Quite happy with the tool. It cuts nice. And hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And we'll see you in the next one.